Okay, just give it just a second. I like for it to like just warm up for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here. We're live.
We're
Gayute.
Gayute, the rabid fish fan in me,
Salute.
salutes.
The rabid fish fan in you.
The
Hey,
rabid fish
this is
fan
my
in you.
friend Andrea Rawson.
This
Miss
is
Rawson.
Brian Peterson. What side
Okay,
are we on?
I don't know. It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. We spoke briefly, but this is our drop in.
This is our eighth episode of We Read Icculus. Yeah, we're doing good, and I'm proud of us.
8 is great, Brian. If you put it on its side, it's an infinity. So I think
Yeah,
it's like Sigma Oasis. We're already there, you know what I mean?
true. I I have to say, I mean, I've said it already a number of times, but I'm just like, well, a long time ago, I wanted to work with this photographer who told me, like, you're just dead weight for me. And someday,
Ouch.
yeah, right. And he said, but someday you'll have a little career, you'll have a little name for yourself, and you'll find somebody who wants to come and get with
Is
you
dead
and be
weight
your,
for you? I'll be
yeah.
your dead weight,
No,
Brian.
no, 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 no,
I
not
know where
and
you're going
no, but
now.
no, what he said you're dead weight because I already have somebody worth their weight in gold.
Uh,
And someday you will find your person who's worth their weight in gold. And when you find that person, grab onto them and you won't need anybody else. You won't need anybody else. So that person eventually came along to me. And that's the partner who I do my photo volunteer project with, Yuko.
yes.
And
Yeah. Photo
what
Hoku.
what she does is like she keeps me, she's like, yo, you didn't do the thing that you said you were going to do. And I say, I know. Okay, I got to do it. And it's so important to have one of those people. And I'm often, even though she's directing me a lot of the time, I'm also directing the troops. I'm like, come on, guys, let's do it again. And um, to have you call me and be like, yo, the show's over. When are we going to get online? And I'm just like, soon. And you're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm on standby. I'm just like, wow, it's so good for me. And I feel like, I've never not felt anything but, very like on the level with you, like very much like eye to eye on the level with you.
Yes.
But it really feels
On
like
many things.
you're the breakout of this thing, and you're really the like superstar of this thing. Yeah. So it's fun. I'm like, oh, this is great. I got like
Well,
a homie who's like great. She's good at this. She knows more than I do. She was actually there. And it's
it'll be an
awesome.
interesting conversation because of our unique approaches to fish. You are rabid, voracious ears listening and watching, so
Not really.
consistent. And I'm sort of rabid, rage the show. So we
That's
come
true.
from different angles, which makes it a really fun conversation. And hopefully, it'll be interesting to talk about Austin. And I will say the reason I'm like, come on, let's do the thing is because you guys know I live in Boulder and Phish is coming to Boulder.
Oh my God, this weekend. It's
Maybe
like
Mike is already here, I think,
I
according
think
to
he tweeted about it,
Instagram.
right?
He
I
did.
saw him. Colorado's important to us, right?
Yeah, something along those lines. He posted some old Telluride photos that you and Tuck were chatting about a couple episodes ago.
Right.
And yeah, so we only have a couple days. I've got friends coming into town. I gotta go to the grocery store, hit the liquor store, get all the like camp chairs out, tidy off my porch. It's allergy season over here. There's just shit that's been dropping from the trees. My whole patio is covered in pollen, so I got to deal
Those
with that a
elm
little.
trees where Joe and I lived, those elm trees, man, they smelled
Drop
so bad.
everything.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
awful,
there's
right?
a weird. So it's been raining here, which is lovely. It's actually quite temperate right now. Beautiful. Bring a raincoat if you're coming. You never know what could happen.
Right.
It'll be early July in Boulder, but there is a sort of like there's a smell and feel of like heavy pollen and summer in the air, and
Right.
it's out. Don't forget your Zyrtec, friends.
You know what I
your
always like
allergy medicine.
being from Oklahoma, where it's like Tornado Alley, we're like, we get these like raging storms, just like terrifying storms,
It's a
squalls,
twister.
but the sky gets, the air electrifies,
Mm-hmm.
and it's there's like a purple halo around things.
Hmm.
And it just gets to be like, ooh, like what's going to happen? Something's happening. The leaves start turning over. There's something about like the electricity like starts to split oxygen in from O2s to O1s, and then the O1s latch onto the O2s and they become O3s, and then that's what ozone is. And there's a smell to it like gasoline. Yeah.
Okay.
And the leaves maybe react to it in some way on the trees, and all the tone of the trees turn from this sort of deep green to the leaves. Sometimes on certain trees the leaves will flip upside down, and the whole thing, it's like, oh shit, here it comes. They're coming for us. Everybody
Yeah,
take
that kind
cover.
of sick green yellow sky rolls in. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know about those oxygen splitting
I think that's right. I think I remember learning that about that as
details.
a kid.
I don't know. I
So,
trust you. You have a degree in the sciences.
episode 8 so what we've been doing, this all started for anybody who's welcome everybody who's here. There's 5 of you here. You know, we're small but mighty. We love our peanut gallery. 4D man's in the house. What's up, 4D? You picked a number trial day. Shrewd. Okay, yes, we called each other. Are there any murder trials today? You know, 4D is like a murder trial junkie.
Really? Good.
Yeah,
So
he
we're
watches
glad
these
we
murder
have
trials.
you tuning in.
Ninja Cat Matt wrote to me the other day and said that he listened to a podcast on his route on his way back to Denver from Austin. He says he was looking for you and Texas, but alas, no Miss Andrea.
Oh, Ninja
You guys will
Cat.
have to cross paths in Denver or another show.
Yeah. In Boulder, he's gonna be up. I put a little message Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Me too, Ninja Cat Matt.
Okay.
I don't know what you look like, but keep your eyes open for me.
This is live.
And,
yeah. Well,
we're live.
You said that what's up, Richard's Vinyl Tap House? You said that look out for me. I'm over on page side. What'd you call it? You didn't call it page side rage side. You called it something else. Page side. We always call it page side rage side. You said page side something or other. Stage side. Page side, stage side, rage side.
Right. So if you were looking at the stage, pages, lookers left, stage right, I was right off the floor, first row, just like right in the line with Paige, Mike, Trey, and John.
Oh,
I mean,
awesome.
I felt like I was just
Parallel.
like right in.
You're the fifth Phish member. Okay, wait. So let me back up a second.
Good.
So for anybody who's coming to this thing, who's seen it for the first time, Icculus. I hope you've read the book. I keep telling you the great and knowledgeable Icculus. If you don't know about the great and knowledgeable Icculus, Andrea, there's only one thing we can say to these people.
Read the fucking book.
Read the fucking book. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you. Read the fucking book.
It was written by the great and knowledgeable, the one, the only, the epic, the
fucking guy who wrote the book.
He's the guy.
He's the guy.
We don't
go read Icculus.
To tell you, like, okay? Get your glasses checked. Sit on down.
So
you know what
there was
do.
an amazing essay that was written at the beginning of the year, a 30,000 word essay on Phish, written by Amanda Petrusic. I'm not going to forget her name. I'm going to say it so many times. Amazing.
Now we know how to pronounce it.
Amazing, just super deep dive into Phish that came along with the nomination and snub into the Hall of Fame. And we read this thing online, super fun. And Ann and I said, hey, we should do more of this. And now we're reading things online. And so we're reading fishy stuff. And that's the nature of this Read Icculus podcast that we're on episode 8. And we've kind of done a pretty good job of like setting ourselves up with material to read. And we thought on this episode, we'd be like, let's impromptu. Let's talk about the show that Ann just spent 2 days at and that you listened to. However, there is stuff that we can read on it. So why don't we don't have so much time today because it's a weird midweek thing, but let's talk about the show. Then let's go hear what some people have written about it on Phish.com and Phish.net. And there is a recap essay. And if time permits, let's take it paragraph for paragraph and read it as we have in other things in the past. Yeah.
Sounds great. I love it.
Okay. Austin, Texas, 2 nights. The what center? The Moody Center. Okay.
Moody Center.
Why did you pick? So, Ann, you go see how many summer tour? We're on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th show of the summer tour of a 30 date. I have no idea what the number is, but Why'd you pick Austin? I think you kind of mentioned it. You hadn't been there in a while. Why of all the shows that came sort of near you and that you were picking out to go to on the summer tour, you go see what, 3, 4, 5 shows a summer tour, maybe?
Maybe more,
More? Okay.
maybe that. I see
Something
as much as I can.
as much as you can, right?
Yeah, so this year has been really great. I went to Portland to see the show in the spring tour.
Right, that's right.
And I made that choice because it was a one and done. And I haven't seen just one standalone Phish show in forever. And then great friends, of course, in Portland. Austin, I've never been to Austin, and I really have enjoyed. I have a very fun summer tour partner in crime, my buddy Dave, and I love exploring cities with him. He has been on the Boulder City Planning Board before, City Council. So, and he spends a lot of time in Europe. He does a lot of like e-biking tours around Asia. He just gets out. He knows how to navigate cities. He is just such a fun
Shout
tour
out
guide.
Dave. Who's Dave? Dave's energy guy. Who is Dave?
Dave's energy guy. You know, we should talk about this too, because I can't recognize that. And
Yeah,
I
me
should
neither,
be
actually.
able to.
I know. There's
And
a
my
couple of
buddy
them.
Brian always sings it to me. I'm like, yeah, I hear what you're singing, and it's like I
Isn't
know
that
it, but
funny?
I can't pick it out. Like
That was
something
that
like
Daniel
Guy
Stoll
Forget,
thing. Yeah, Guy
Dog
Forget. Yeah.
Soul Things.
No. The
Dogs.
guy.
Daniel
No.
Sullivan.
Yeah, that one. I was like, I don't know, never heard this one.
Oh,
And my friends
Daniel
were like,
Sullivan.
yes, you have. You've heard this a dozen times. I'm like, I
Well,
have. I don't think I have.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Dave and I, last year we went to Chicago. Dave took me on an 18-mile bike ride before Alpine Valley. We had great food. We go see museums. We always had these great adventures. This time in Austin, we saw the bats. There's this very famous bridge where, like, I don't know, like tens of thousands of bats all come
Cool.
out right after sunset. We happen to catch that phenomenon, which was so interesting. Everybody comes out, people on their paddle boards on the river, these sort of boat tours come out. Everybody cheers for the bats. It's a whole big thing. So we caught that. We got a great meal. We went to the LBJ Museum on the campus, just past the Moody Center. Really interesting exhibit on 1968 Vietnam War
So wait,
era.
sorry. Let me interrupt. The bats. We're back in Austin. I thought we were in Chicago. I missed
No,
the
sorry.
transition.
We're in Austin.
Okay.
We're in Austin. My bad.
No, mine. So the bats are in Austin. Okay, cool. So then you go
Chicago
from
was last year, which was just to say
okay.
that Dave and I have a thing where like
You go explore.
exploring a city is a great old time.
Yeah.
So
The bats, and then you rode your bike down to the Moody Center from the bats, or no? It was like, yeah.
So day one, bats,
Sorry.
great seafood, strong cocktail.
Nice.
Day two, which was really day 0. Day 2 in our trip, which was the first day of the Phish show, the 27th, we got on bikes. After a nice breakfast, we went to the museum and the library. We saw this very cool Vietnam War era exhibit. I teach on the Vietnam War in my 11th grade class, so that was really, really interesting.
Cool.
And I'm thinking about next year going backwards down the number line of time rather than like beginning forward to the present day. So I'm thinking about kind of a new approach to my teaching and how to make things kind of interesting for me. And I'm always looking for cool connections. So
hey, can I interrupt you there for a second? There's a Twitter account that I followed for a while that had like a play-by-play, like day-by-day live synced history of, I think it wasn't Vietnam War, but it was like World War II. I like followed this account for like 3 years, and every day it tweeted whatever happened on that day.
That's interesting.
And it was an very interesting thing to follow. There could be some multimedia interaction thing that you could look into.
Well, so
I'll see if I can dig it up.
No, I would love to see that. Send me that account name. That would be really fascinating. So at the end of last year, we wrapped up with this Vietnam era, it's post-Vietnam era book. It's called The Things They Carried. It's really wonderful account of sort of life in Vietnam from a soldier's point of view. My students did these amazing final projects, a lot of media, a lot of anti-war protests in the US stuff. rock and roll, artifacts. So
Cool.
if I start there and go backwards, I think I could build a really nice American context year with my students, because there's just so much overlap, right? We've got civil rights in 1968, we've got civil rights now, we've got war then, we've got war now, we have young people so disenfranchised with the system, with politics, and we had that then. So I don't know, it could be interesting. So anyway, why
I'm
Austin?
inspired by that idea. That's a cool idea, and you go for it. I
Yeah.
support you. Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. So Austin, to get back to your question, why did I choose there? It
Right.
was the shows leading up to Folsom Field. And I love the idea of just getting a little bit of Phish time without the pressure of hosting all the friends and having to be the like kind of camp counselor leader, getting everybody around. Is everybody fed? We got to go, like leading the show a little bit. It was just nice to be a person in the stands. We got seats. We didn't have to rush in. I didn't have to sit on the floor for hours. And it was just so pleasant. And then this was great. My high school friend Tony and her husband were there, so I got really great green team time, and I was not expecting that. So anything can happen at Phish. It's always great. You see America, walked off to look for America. That romantic hippie spirit in me that wants to get in the Volkswagen and go places now apparently gets, first class upgrades on United when I travel with Dave. So we just had such a banging time.
Nice.
And I got some pool time with Heather McDougal. Do you remember the Heather
Yeah,
McDougal
fuck
song?
yeah, that's huge. Yeah, that's cool.
So she was there with her daughter.
That's
and
funny,
Heather
Ann, that you're
McDougal-
pals with Heather McDougal.
No, I just met her. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I've been dying to
Tell
meet her.
the people who Heather McDougal is.
All right. So once upon a time, there's this terrible pandemic that we called COVID. And Trey Anastasio, God bless his sweetheart, figured out how to live stream from the Beacon Theater on Twitch for 8 weeks, once a week.
Awesome.
And
the Beacon Jams.
The Beacon Jams. You can check them out on YouTube. And so as they were playing their music between songs, somebody must have had a big screen up slowing the Twitch comments down. And Trey
I think it was actually Trey's daughter was doing it.
I think it was Trey's daughter. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Those young, brilliant girls. It's so great. It might have been both of them.
TikTokers and Twitchers. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's go, kids. Thank you for helping us read Twitch, Icculus.
Teach your parents well. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, there was this woman.
Hello. Oh, wait, hold on. Hello, Fish Market Stew. Do you remember this one? Fish Market Stew. Anyway,
no, I remember.
There was like Fish Market Stew. I can't talk. Fish Market Stew 248. Who are you? What kind of name is Fish Market Stew? You don't remember this? And he's like, wait a second. Is that a lyric of mine?
Oh, no, I don't remember that. I do not. I remember Heather McDougal. There was somebody else that's friends with Cara Murray. Some cat, not Ninja Cat Matt, but another cat person. Anyway, so Heather McDougal had written in, she's a nurse, and Trey was like, oh my God, you're a nurse. You go, and like made up a song on the spot, and the whole band made up a song called the Heather McDougal song. Right. So time goes on, and the photos come out of Heather McDougal. I'm like, gosh, she looks familiar. And then I see that she has pictures with some of my high school friends. She went to Kennedy, which was the Catholic school right in the next town over, and played on the travel soccer team with all my bestie girls. That's funny. So I've been waiting to meet her. We have a big mutual sort of friends thing. So I met her and her lovely daughter, who's going to college in Dublin next year. And we had such a nice time at the pool. That was funny. That was my star sighting, was Heather McDougal.
Wow, very
song.
Cool. Very cool. Okay, so you got some pool time. You got to see both shows. You got so this is a cool notion. I actually hadn't heard of this before, because us vinyl heads, we explore other cities through record shops. it's a great way to explore a new city.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you've been doing that car series where you pick people up and you take them around.
Well, yeah, that was something that kind of like popped. That was something, but yes, that was a new thing that I'm kind of playing with.
I
But
think that
yeah,
that's very smart.
anybody who cheers, but anybody who's going to a new town, I mean, it's funny because it's like they have the same record. I mean, they basically have the same records. You know, it's like a total crapshoot. You never know.
Maybe though. I mean, what taste changes by geography and sort of what's hip and
Certainly,
what's cool
certainly.
and
And Detroit's going to have Motown, and the South is
yes,
going to
yeah,
have
yeah,
this,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah,
for sure. But at the same time, it's like a record store is just a peak of the local fare. It's a peak of the local,
yeah,
flavor. And I wonder, like, going to see Phish. Like like David, he's a city planner, dude. He's into seeing how the bike lanes work, how
yep,
they do things. I
yep.
wonder what other uh ancillary interests there are on Phish. There's got to be heaps of them, there's got to be just like foodies, obviously,
Oh
going
yes, foodies in Austin. We're so happy. There's
right.
so much good food in
I
Austin. Oh
wonder
my
what other like
goodness.
sort of subculture things there
Well, it
are.
depends where you go, right? So like if you're coming to Boulder, you probably are going to take a great
Mountain
hike,
climbing and
right? You're
hiking
going to
and
maybe
cycling, right?
rent some badass bicycle or go to hot springs. If
Right.
you are going to New York City, so when I did that mini Baker's Dozen run, it was 7 nights at MSG. My dad lives in Manhattan, so I just figured I'll stay, I'll do all of them. I went to the Guggenheim and I went for great meals and I went to the Whitney. Love a museum, love just like trekking around a city.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think it just all depends where you're going, right? You go down to, I don't know, Mexico. A lot of people go before or after and they go scuba diving, they go on cenote trips. It's kind of like, what's your pleasure, right? So some people go to cities because their friends live there, and some people go because they've never been a place. And it's quite the privilege to be able to just hop on a plane and go somewhere. I feel that it kind of soaking up some of the city fare and culture is really, really fun. I
Let me
love
try
a
to
museum.
I want to try to crack open a little chestnut here. I want to get to comments and I want to get to the show, but like a little chestnut here. Something about music, and then something about adventure and discovery, and then something about, let's see if I can not get lost in this tangent. But I heard Chris Martin from Coldplay talk about this book that he read, and it talks about the nature of our brains loving music, and it maybe it's connected to this primitive
Oliver
thing
something.
that we have, where we have to predict things. We have to predict our survival and predict danger in front of us, and make predictions all day long. And our brain gets fed relief and flight or fight, through these predictions. We have to predict whether this plant is poisonous or can
Yep,
sustain us,
yep, yep,
or if
yep.
those two beating eyes that we see in the bush are like gonna eat us, or we can eat them. And every time we predict correct, we get a hit of something. And when music, we expect to go places, and when we get to go to the places that we expect to go, when the chord resolves on a place that we thought it would resolve, it releases a thing in our brain that goes, ah. And when it doesn't resolve in a place and it goes to some new surprise, our body goes, ah, and we're constantly in the state of sort of this primitive, primal, very primal experience. And another thing that I want to back up from, and I think you get that, yeah. So Phish is filled with, I feel like, all music, but like I'm always like chasing that in Phish music. It's constantly euphoric release and tension and the evil jams, and then let's see if I may have lost it already, but like having a lot of records, it's a ridiculous pursuit, just collecting records when it's all available online. But it's like you discover something in your own collection that you're like, oh, I forgot I had that, or like, oh, this reminds me of the time that I bought the thing. And every one of those is like a not just the record, but it's a whole thing. It's a whole little world. Every little piece of music that you have, it's not just the object, it's the whole thing that comes with it. Not only the music, the artwork, the person who turned you on to it, the how many 10,000 times you listen to it, right? And
there are 3 things I'm tracking as you're talking that I'm going to respond to, but 100% yes to all of it.
And let's see if I can go. There was one more layer down that I was going to go. I think I've lost my way, but it was something about like discovering the cities, and I think I lost it. But it's something about discovering the cities and exploring cities through the record collections. But it'll come back to me. It was
well, Brian. People
I knew I was going to lose it.
They sleep in the daytime if they want to.
If they want to.
All right, 3 things
I lost
to respond
it.
The book you're talking about is called Musicophilia by Oliver Sacks.
Okay, Musicophilia.
Why the Brain Loves Music, Dr. Oliver Sacks. Really fascinating book, collection of essays of the nervous system and like the hemispheric conversation of the brain. I bought it and I've read through parts of it. So super awesome. We could read that. It's quite scientific, but the thing that's dropping in the brain, I do believe, is dopamine. It makes us go, and every time you check a box on your to-do list, your brain does the same thing, that resolving the tension. And then there's this wonderful poem by Gwendolyn Brooks. And the last bit of the poem, the last stanza goes, live not for battles won. I always cry. Live not for the end of the song, live in the along. And living in the along is very much,
I love that.
I'll send it to you. I mean, I could read the whole you want me to read the whole thing? It's quite short.
Go for it. I remembered my thing. Let me come back. Stuart. It has to do with a guy named Stuart. So but read. Yeah.
No, you go first. I'll come back to this.
I was gonna say that I got a very amazing, generous offer since the last time we talked, I think. And this won't mean something to you, but like 10 years ago, Phish released 2 soundtracks. Do you know about 2 soundtracks? Or no, sorry, 2 sound checks. 2 sound checks with a record store.
Yeah.
And my buddy Stuart said to me, like, hey, I think I want to send this to you as just some friendly Phish love. And I was like,
the record?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You know, it's quite rare. Do you know? Right? It's quite rare. And it's highly coveted, right? And it's not that rare, and it's not that coveted, but there was a record store day thing, and there's only like so few. And he sent it to me, and he offered.
That is so kind.
I know, but it was like profoundly, like, the guy, I couldn't do it. And then suddenly, in that moment of like him offering it, suddenly the record became pointless to the act of the generosity, right?
Yeah.
The generosity is the thing. The record is just like a trophy, if you will, for the generosity. And I think Phish, like,
I like that, Brad.
When you go to a new city, I mean, the show is paramount to everything. I'm not trying to take but it's the along. It's the along. That's what I was trying to get at, is that, you go to record stores not necessarily for the records that you're going to get, and not for the, records that you get to take home, but it's like for the whole along. Yeah. So read the poem. I love wherever this is. I'm gonna love it. Live for the along. Go for it.
Live in the along.
Live in the along.
This is called Speech to the Young, Speech to the Progress Toward, among them Nora and Henry III by Gwendolyn Brooks. Say to them, say to the downkeepers, the sun slappers, the self-soilers, the harmony hushers. Even if you are not ready for day, it cannot always be night. You will be right, for that is the hard home run. Live not for battles won. Live not for the end of the song. Live in the along.
Oh, I was like, that's a hard-hitting poem. Good grief.
I do this every year with my classes because it moves me emotionally. I've been reading the poem to kids for over a decade. I love that. Downkeepers, sun slappers, self-soilers, and harmony hushers.
All of you. No. Let's come on up to this. That's amazing. I love
Even
it.
if you are not ready for day, it cannot always be night. It's kind of
Yeah.
like just shut the fuck up and let some time pass,
Yeah.
right? You will be right, for that is the hard home run.
Or open the black curtains, it's up to you,
Up or down, it's up to you. Live in the along,
living the
right?
along. I love that.
I
I
know, I
freaking
know.
love that. I
Well,
want to
it's
write it.
interesting, just to put one more little layer on it. Oh God, what's his name? British Zen 60s guy. Alan Watts has
Oh,
a
I love this.
thing about living in the along.
I've never
And
heard this
he
before.
said, Alan Watts?
No, definitely Alan Watts, but I've never heard
Okay.
living the along before. I love Alan Watts.
Well, he has a thing. I can't remember what the name of it is. It's a little like excerpt of a meditation he did in the 60s. He used to have a radio show, and so much of his content you can find from this hour-long British radio show for like 20 years or something crazy. But he had this thing where he said, if we're so preoccupied with time that if we were to come to music with the same brain, you wouldn't go to the orchestra to sit down and listen. You would, the game would be how fast can they play it so you get to the end, because the end is when you know what the thing is. And that's not the point. It was never the point to get to the end, or how fast or wonderful the thing could be because it ended. It was the unfolding of the thing that was the spirit of the thing, and that gave the thing that sort of auric quality that makes it original, unique. And maybe that's what you're saying about the city. It's like the imprint of the experience of being in Austin has just as much to do with my experience having been there at the music as whatever this week is going to be here in Boulder, which is always different than New York City, which is different than Alpine Valley, or whatever it is, which really is, I think, why I keep chasing like the shows always and the ritual of the band. But as I
Yeah, it's
get,
exploration. You're there for the
yeah,
exploration,
it's the
not for
living
the
in the along.
not for the destination.
Yeah, life's a journey, not a destination, said
Yeah.
Aerosmith before they went wow. Yes.
Oh, that was a
Anyway,
fun
it's
little
very zen.
tangent. Thank you for
Very
sharing
zen.
that.
You're
Read the
welcome.
title of the poem and the author one more time,
Our
please.
author is Gwendolyn Brooks. She is quite a famous, now passed on African American author. And the poem is called Speech to the Young, Speech to the Progress Toward, with a dash, progress dash toward. And then a parentheses, all this punctuation. You guys know I'm a nerd for that. Among them, Nora and Henry III. So
Who are
Gwendolyn
they?
Brooks. You
Okay.
can go to the Poetry Society of America website and find it. It's really
Okay.
lovely.
Well, thank you again.
Oh, and I
Maybe
do
you have to
believe I will just say one thing for our modern younger listeners. You would recognize this because if I'm not mistaken, it was either Kanye West or Tupac who quoted this poem. I want to say Tupac. I don't want to give it to Kanye. I don't really love him at all, but young people would know this poem because it's quoted in modern music.
Oh, let's find where it's quoted. I'll go
Uh,
dig that up. That sounds a fun little scavenger hunt.
yeah. Kids know this already.
Let me let's speaking of kids and speaking of like the fact that you're shouting out the young listeners. I doubt that any young listeners, we can only hope. Maybe one of your students is here. But Ninja Cat says when you're looking for him at the at the show, he says 53-year-old guy with long hair, kind of fat. So I blended in the crowd. I sold ridiculous bumper stickers.
What?
Nice.
We
Last
need those
century.
last century. We love the vintage deep
I
cuts.
think I had a ridiculous bumper sticker.
I think you had it on your bus.
I think I had a ridiculous bumper sticker. That would be insane.
We need. All right, Ninja
I think
Cat
I'm
Matt.
down. I can find out.
White, long hair, fat, blending in. I'll keep my eyes open. Are you Ninja Cat Matt?
Okay. Oh my God, the Moon Age Daydream was a giant.
We're
gonna
get
get
into it.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, let me just read through these.
A lot to
Texas
say.
as close as they get to Denver and hadn't been there in 8 years. Right, been a little bit of a time since they'd been there.
That's why I went to Portland. They hadn't been there in like 22 years.
20 years, crazy, insane.
That's really fun. There's always Dave's Energy Guide.
Yeah. Let's see. Bats featured on
Oh,
King of the Hill. Oh, okay, cool. Are they in Austin? Is that where they are? Related to LBJ distantly. Okay. Austin also has a bee cave.
we didn't hear about the bee, or I didn't hear about a bee cave.
I thought you just said it was like it wasn't a bee cave. Bee
It
cave.
was
Sorry, I'm
a
thinking bat cave. Right.
bat
Okay,
cave.
sorry. Yeah. Okay. Like PBS letters from the
Oh,
Civil War.
that's what we are
They get
doing
celebrities
today.
read them. Yeah.
Maybe.
Vibe was new and excited instead of arrogant skepticism. Austin was great. Good.
Arrogant skepticism. I will be quoting that phrase a little later when we go through and talking about my experience versus some of what I heard in
Okay.
the commentary experience. Arrogant skepticism.
Museums and national parks are my key to touring in the past. Yeah, I mean, that's another the national parks. I mean, hello, good grief. What a great way to get across America. I've done a bunch of them. Baseball is another one that I kind of.
Oh, yes.
Jeff and I went to like 100 baseball. Oh, not 100. We went like no. But like we were on like 100-day tour. We went like 3 months across America and Canada, and we went.
You and Hefe?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sebastian, Black Sabbath. It was awesome. It was a good time in the Previa. Deep in the heart of Texas. Okay, lots of chatter here. Sachs was pals. Are we talking with Jonathan
Oliver
Miller?
Sachs.
Oh, Oliver Sachs. Okay, the author who wrote the book Musicphilia. Okay. One of my heroes. Cool.
I'm not familiar with Jonathan Miller.
No past, no future, only presence.
Like that one.
It's the journey, and that's fun and unpredictable. Yeah, living in the along.
Much like a 30-minute Ruby Waves jam, right? Living in the
there
along.
there was a giant Ruby Waves.
Oh
right?
my God, the flowers, Brian! The flowers in Austin right now are insane.
Oh, really?
I took this photo of these crazy flowers on campus that were just. I mean, I like to edit my photos with a sort of vibrancy. I try and make them look the way I felt taking the picture or something. So I quite enjoy like the editing, but I put a few collections from my travels up, and one of them is like this sort of panoply of like vibrant colored flowers.
A panoply.
A monopoly.
Was it?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
You'll see the photo. It's they're really pretty. Yeah, I like perspective. I'm a big fan of like architectural lines and kind of the way shadow cuts, and
I'm not seeing it here.
Well, it's up on the gram.
Okay.
It's a part of a collection. It's a part of the collection of photos.
Is this the one?
Yes.
Okay.
Panoply of colors.
I don't know. Like we should pull it up properly, but there's ends. It's not going to be in focus. Dang,
you can't see it. You got go to.
I don't have autofocus. Hold on, we'll try this.
Go to the jaw on IG.
We'll try. Yeah, go. Yeah, you can drop your thing into the chat.
Yeah, that's where that's where my sort of public facing world lives. A lot of student work, really cute stuff, family, friends.
Okay.
Flowers, details of life.
Okay, so
beautiful.
Where do we go? Okay, so yeah, comments galore. Cheers for the comments, folks. Happy to have everybody here. Mine were green cursive writing. Read Icculus, children. Okay, wonderful.
Ninja Cat Map. Maybe you'll find 2 of them.
I saw him in Portland, 93 Schnitzer Theater, also at Roseland. Something. What were we talking about there?
We were talking about Roseland last week. That's in New York.
No, but wait, mine were green cursive writing. What were mine? Were
the stickers, ridiculous?
Oh, stickers. The ridiculous stickers. I was feeling like they were blue. Mine were blue. I don't remember though. Okay, I don't know where I would have gotten them. Okay, Jonathan 40 man. Last comment, and let's get into it. Jonathan Miller. Equals one of Beyond the Fringe comedy quartet who inspired Monty Python. Miller also, this is a Japanese affectation. That's like a thing I picked up here.
Like wowzers.
Do I say wowzers? I don't think.
No. Is that like what it translates as?
Yeah, like wow. Yeah, it's like a silly Japanese thing that they do. Yeah. Miller
opera
also
director.
A surgeon for real. Okay, author, TV presenter, film and opera director. Geez, good grief. He hated the term Renaissance man, but he was one. Okay. Also arena in Portland, Rose something. Yeah. Okay. City of Roses. Portland's, I think, is like a city of flowers. Okay.
Portland. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful in the spring too. The flowers were insane in Portland. It's been a chasing the flowers tour.
So what do
I
we do here?
suppose.
What do you want to do? How do you want to
All
do
right,
this,
let's
Ann?
start on the 27th rather than the 28th. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
A
So
very
what do you want
good
to do?
place
Just
to
read the set list. We just go
start.
through it song by song. The thing is here's the thing I want to like preface this with. Like I'll see this set list and like there's a taste on there, and I won't be able to sit here and be like, oh, that taste was awesome. Like I remember a single detail about the taste. I don't remember anything about this. But
let's go set by set.
Okay.
Talk about it, read some comments, and we'll see what happens. What do you say?
Okay. You
All
got
right.
the set up here? Do you want me to pull it up?
Yeah,
on
I got
screen?
it. I got it. So I'll read the first set from the Moody Center. This is Friday, June 27th, 2025. We get set 1, crowd control.
Let me see if I can keep
you got
going.
it up? Crowd control. You got it up?
I don't know.
All right, set 1, crowd control, Mike's song, Cities, Divided Sky, The Well, Daniel Saw the Stone, Taste, Dirt, and Weekapaw Groove. Now, a couple things offhand I want to say is that crowd control and Daniel Saw the Stone were both played at Alpine Valley in 2012 in a first set.
Oh, good.
Oh,
really?
I know it's
Okay.
I obsessively listened to the shows that I go to. So I knew that, and that was so interesting. I love crowd control. I think
Me
it's such a
too.
fun way to open a show. I love the lyrics. I love the cadence of the song. Mike's song was a total surprise.
Well, hold on.
And
Crowd control is I want to say like one of I think it only ever ends up in this slot. I feel like, or it's opened a handful of shows. I don't know if it often ends up, but I've seen it open shows before, and also it's on Undermined. I think, right? Crowd controls.
I am not familiar.
I'm
Really
pretty
with
sure it is,
Undermine.
which I would say is like one of the least. It's one of the albums that they play the least amount of songs off of. I would say maybe. So I was like, oh yeah, crowd control, which I think don't we call Undermine? Isn't that like clearly 2.0, which is the shortest?
Yes, that would
Phish
be
era, which is a kind of a fun
era,
little
yeah.
pocket of Phish history to kind of pull from.
Yes,
as
indeed.
a set opener, because it's not it's canon, but it's a deep cut. It's a very deep cut. Okay.
It's just such a great opener. And you're right. They play it in the one slot and it sort of sets a tone. I just think it's so much fun. It feels very nostalgic in my heart from the places I've seen it in the past. Oh, sorry. Okay. There's a big car going by the house.
Then it's a giant Mike song sandwich, because I don't know.
It doesn't resolve till the last song of the set.
Yeah, Mike's song. I mean, I'm speaking to the choir here, but the Mike song, of course, Mike Gordon is our bass player, and this is Mike's song. This is his song. And Mike's song is part of the 3-part. In fact, I've got Mike's corner, right? I'll pull that up later, but it just happens to be sitting right here. Mike Gordon is our sort of resident weirdo, and this is one of his kind of, I would say, this is his sort of theme, his epic theme song, and it's part of a usually 3-part song set, which collectively we call Mike's Groove. Maybe are you on that page, Andrea? Yeah, Mike's Groove, which is
I can
Mike's
see that.
what?
It makes sense.
It's Mike's Hydrogen,
Weekapaw.
and then Weekapaw, right? But in Hydrogen, and Mike has this kind of like has this real fun sort of weird, almost like They Might Be Giants, upbeat sort of kind of silly thing. And then
I love that comparison, Brian. Brilliant.
Me no are no nice. It's just like a funny little lyric and a funny little kind of, but it rocks.
That comparison to,
and then H2 or then Hydrogen has this absolutely beautiful little interlude between the two pieces. It's like what would be a Grateful Dead comparison? It's like estimated it's like fire, one of those kind of things. I forget what it's like.
It's like
Scarlet.
Slipknot that takes
That's
you
the one. That's what I'm reaching for.
into
Right, and it's that
whatever comes
beautiful.
after it.
Exactly.
It's a transitional piece, but it's like beautiful, complex, composed, slippery. Hydrogen is usually
And it
slippery, but we
probably,
didn't get hydrogen this
if it
time.
had been written by Ravel, you like wouldn't be surprised. It's so gorgeous.
Mm.
And then it closes with this Weekapaw groove thing, which you'll see in the last position here. It's that 3-song set is and so it's always kind of been smashed together, those 3 songs. And when you get a Mike song, are we going to get the H2? Are we going to get the H2? I always want to say H2O because we also have N2O or NO2 or whatever. But anyway,
Yeah.
are we going to get the hydrogen? Then we get it. And then are we going to get the Weekapaw? And then we get it. And we're like, oh, we got a little 3-part sandwich. But then,
sometimes we don't.
right, and
Sometimes
then,
we don't get hydrogen. We get city, sky, well, blah, blah, blah. And then the groove. Sometimes you don't get the Weekapaw groove until the second set. Sometimes you get it shows later, standing alone. It's
right.
been played out of order before where hydrogen stood alone, like maybe in the spring or last year or something. There was a standalone hydrogen at one point. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and I mean, it's like you'll see T-shirts that'll come out. I don't know if this is the right example, but like, finish the Mike song. Where's Weekapaw? They're all waiting for it.
Yes. Everybody
kind of
loves
thing
a quick
happens.
T-shirt,
and it's kind of an in joke that that people know about the band. So anyway, but we didn't get a hydrogen, and we did get this sandwich of songs between Mike's song and the set closer Weekapaw. But after Mike's song, we get a Cities.
Okay, so
go for it.
So it was interesting because when I was in Portland, we got a Cities, which made so much sense because they hadn't played there in forever. And we got a Cities here in Texas, which also felt so appropriate because they hadn't been to Texas in a long time. Moody Center is a new venue. They have never played here before. It's pretty sizable, and it just felt like such the right move to make. It feels like it honors the locality to hear Cities.
We should point out that Cities is Talking Heads cover off of the album Fear of Music, which is also on a random sort of mid-era live Phish record called Slip, Stitch, and Pass. And it's like, find your city, find yourself a city to live in. It's that sort of like, post-punk new wave version. And the Talking Heads are like huge heroes to, I think, Fishman more than anybody else. But the band covered Remain in Light on their second or third Halloween in their musical costume. Big Talking Heads fans, even though Cities isn't on Remain in Light. It's on this Fear of Music record, but that's just their Phish's version of, sometimes I feel like, and this is probably stingy of me to think like this, but you know how like Johnny Cash, like Trent Reznor said after Johnny Cash played, what's the song? Dirt.
Oh.
My Empire of Dirt.
He did that cover album.
Yeah, and it was like, you can have it all. I will hurt. And Trent Reznor, after he heard it, he was like, oh, I think initially I read somewhere that he was like kind of upset because he was like, oh, he did he's like
better
not that he stole it, but he's like, he did it better than me. And it's like, but then he graciously said, it's like no longer my song. It's his song, And I feel like
he said that.
Yeah, and he was like, that's what music is. Sometimes you discover a song that's actually somebody else's. And I don't know how Johnny Cash would feel about that, but Trent Reznor said that. And I sometimes feel like Golden Age,
TV on the radio,
Roses Are Free, maybe, and Cities. It's like Phish has commandeered these songs, whether the original songwriters are happy about it or not.
They have certainly made them their own because Cities originally is a much faster tempo on Fear of Music. It's kind of got this Afrobeat thing, and it's very much slowed down in the Phish point of view.
And I just remembered in the Cities on the Talking Heads version, there's a little computery thing, and they played it at this show. I just remembered, I'd never heard it before. There was something. Trey had a little. I don't know who it was actually. I wasn't like watching.
I think it was probably Paige. It was maybe that synth thing.
Yeah, it could have been. I felt like it was Trey, but it might have been Paige. But I heard this little computer glitchy thing that was happening, which I'd never heard before in the Cities. which I thought was awesome. I was like, oh, they're doing the thing from the original sound, from the original version. I thought that was awesome. I just remembered that suddenly right now. Okay, sorry. And Cities, of course, is on the version of it that's on
Slip Stitch and Pass.
Slip Stitch and Pass is this, we've talked about it before. It's like this legendary show from Amsterdam, I think. Did I get that
Germany,
right?
Germany.
Okay, Germany. All right, screwed it up again.
Yeah. Then we get Divided Sky, which had a great pause. Trey totally biffed the note in, which I've never heard.
Hey, fuck, man.
I will say,
did you see his face? I saw his face on the video. You can go back and watch it. He goes, he does.
Well, there was sort of a string of flubs like that at these shows.
I mean, know, it's true. They were.
This is where, for me, in the show, like, you cannot hear those things, but you're living in the along, so you don't want to hang out and chew on, like, oh, he biffed this one note that he's gotten, like, so perfectly, like, 800 other times. Like, are you really gonna let that bring your heart down about the show? No. There was such... 2 minutes of cheering, long Divided Sky pause.
Divided Sky is an amazing orchestral composed piece of music that Phish has been playing from the very, very, very beginning. One of Trey's earliest compositions. I know that 4D won't know this if he's still around, but it's extremely gorgeous and lush and filled with interesting movements. And it goes through so many parts. And there's a moment where it stops completely. And it's this beautiful ephemeral sort of moment. And everybody's totally knows this song, by heart. And this moment where this song sort of comes to this very sweet stop, the whole audience, everything quiets down, and the audience starts to just kind of rage. And Trey always goes into this sort of little bit of a trance kind of thing. It's not exactly a trance, but he's articulated that he's like looking out to the very last seat. He said this before, I think, and even beyond that, he's like trying to, I don't know, take a moment to, I don't know, feel not only the person in the very back seat.
He is tapping deeply beyond the room, even. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a whole nother thing happening underneath the silence. Well, and it's interesting too, because the lead into the pause is bum bum, and we are all waiting for the bum, right? That like down resolution to the one, and it's
But when it comes back in, if you had never seen it before,
where'd Brian go? He might still be in there. Anyway, then we went into the well, which was kind of interesting. What happened to Brian? Sometimes his little wheel goes off. Oh, having trouble connecting. Maybe it's me. Shoot.
Oh, shit. Who's fucked up?
I'm afraid to pop out and pop back in. Let's see if I leave.
I think we're both here. I'm scared to refresh. How far? Let me look at. Oh my God. Okay. Little technical difficulties. Okay. Who's here? She's gone. I'm here. Am I moving? Am I okay? It was fine on our end. We never lost Andrea. Okay. Okay, she's back. We were divided. We got divided, Anne. We were
divided, Sky. We were sky divided. We were a guy forgetting.
I don't know where we were, but
I'm so sorry, you guys. I think I wasn't hooked up to my Wi-Fi, so I got you. You were a spinning wheel of death, and then I got nervous. Like,
no, it's fine. It's fine.
I actually popped out or something. Anyway, okay. So Divided Sky, slightly biffed, gorgeous nonetheless. Awesome cheer into newish song, The Well. I'm curious to know what you think about The Well.
I love The Well. And is what I love about The Well is that it's this kind of upbeat, kind of happy-go-lucky, driving down a country road, like happy. Them. I don't even know. It's like the wheel, you know, the Jerry's wheel. It's like let the wheels turn in, right, I'm driving down there, and then suddenly it takes this turn at the bottom of a well. I'm just like, oh shit, what just happened? And like it goes severely off the rails, which I like that second part especially well. And I always think like,
I can
is
see
this the
that.
one where it gets really crazy at the end? And I'm like, it's coming, right? Because this song doesn't seem that evil Phish, and then suddenly it does. What's your take on it? I love it. Yeah.
Every bluebird has a rainbow.
Every bluebird has a rainbow. It's like, how could that lyric be in the same one as at the bottom of a well? I don't get it.
So it's all these like kind of major happy chords, and honestly, I think it's really cheesy. But I love the end part of it. I'm here for Dark Fish, of course. The bluebird and the rainbow. I love a bluebird and a rainbow. Just maybe less of that with my Phish and more of the like fishmen screaming wildly. I'm super here for. But I will say this
Trey, are you taking note? Andrea is requesting a little bit less bluebird and
I'd
rainbows
like a
for
little
Phish.
less bluebird and a little more fishmen screaming at the bottom of the well.
Okay.
But I will say that the happy part of the jam was really happy. It was really fun. I was dancing. I felt elated. So it surprised me that my expectations of the like kind of eye rolling happy were interrupted and kind of intersected by this really wonderful happy time jam. And then we went into the and I would have liked that to have gone on and on, but it went into Daniel Saw the Stone, and that was a wonderful surprise. I don't hear you. I heard you, then I didn't.
Check.
Oh,
Okay.
There you are.
Sorry about that. Okay. I was going to say, before we go on to Daniel and Saw the Stone, let's just read some comments here from our pals.
Oh, great. Would love that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Shazam was my comparison to my Japanese. I didn't know that. Golden Age shout is Ninja Cat Matt shouting out. Yeah, that's second night, dude. Hold your horses. We're not even there yet.
No. Golden Age is second set, first night.
Oh,
I know.
shit.
We're gonna
sorry,
talk
my
about
bad.
that.
My bad. We have to be mindful of time here because anyway.
What? You got to chat with your hero? Oh my God.
Asked me to phone to help his writer's block. So we talked, but alas, I was no help to my hero. Wow, that's pretty cool. You should use those Brian Eno cards that unstuck David Bowie in the studio on Lodger. I recently learned about those. I picked Mike's to open. Nice. Okay. So one song off. That's not bad.
Crowd control threw you off. Yeah.
Okay. But that's a half a point. I think you get there, Matt. Half a point for calling Mike. He called him Mike's opener. We all like to call the openers, and Mike's was in the second slot. So you get an honorary point,
a quarter point, a quarter,
something like that.
Dr. Funkenstein,
2K in the house. Yes,
Who dat?
I think he was saying, I'm not. I feel like I know Dr. Funkenstein. Yes, it is. I think that was a yes. It is to crowd control being on Undermine. I think. Miller, the only Dick Cavett interview guest to appear on 5 evening shows in a row, talking.
I gotta do a little research on this guy.
Yeah, we gotta find out who this guy is. What's his first name? Miller. I want to say what was his first name? Jonathan Miller. Okay. Donyak Shivis is what I say, but you say Donyak Shivice. Right?
I say Schweiss.
Okay.
Schweiss.
I always grew up calling it Shivis. And I have copies of it around here.
You drink a Shivis on the rocks.
You'll know Mike's corner. So Donyak Schweiss, as Andrea says, it's Hebrew, I think. So I assume you got it right. Nobody quite. I think it's actually not PC. What somebody once said,
it would probably
be
more Yiddish than Hebrew, which is a more conversational.
So Phish is like 3/4, or what is it? It's like 5/8 Jewish or something like that. And one of the and the title of the newsletter was called Donyak Shivice, and inside Donyak Shivice is was always Mike's Corner, Mike's Column, our bass player Mike's Column. And this is a book that I have of all of Mike Gordon's essays that is extremely rare and extremely weird. And
is there some artwork in there too?
Yeah, it's filled with all kinds of, I mean, it's really out there. Look at this one.
Huh.
He's boiling in a pot of corn cobs in this one. I mean,
my gosh.
yeah. And some sort of photo montage or collage typewriter. And anyway, the Schweiss, as Andrea says. And that was always like, you're always excited to get it. I got it in the mail, I think.
I got it in the mail too, back in the Joe days.
Mike's H2O Weekapog. Or see, recently this was maybe a new one. Yeah, I'm not sure if that one gets. Does that one? Do we codify that one because Simple's been in there a bunch? I don't know.
I think Mike Simple is also a like pretty common pairing with the Weekapog Groove. Yeah,
interesting. Okay, I take that back. It's more mixed than I knew.
Oh,
okay.
Tuck is in the house today.
What's up, Tuck? Yeah, Tuck was dropping some science on us last week, wasn't he?
A couple weeks ago, yes. Okay, Tuck had a lot of wonderful stuff to say.
He knows his stuff. Okay, Daniel Saw the Stone Bust Out. Last played 2017, August 1st. Okay. Yeah,
like over 240 shows. It was at the Baker's Dozen.
Right. Right. And where does it go before that? I don't know that. I didn't know it. I mean, like a lot of these songs. It was
played in 2012. We can find that out.
Yeah, it's like some Bill Monroe song. I have no idea what the song is. I don't know what it is. It's not their song, right? It's just some old standard song.
I think it's an old church standard. Daniel saw the stone and he ran into battle. It's a little bit like a David and Goliath maybe type of story.
Okay.
I think Daniel is one of those biblical names. Yeah, it was sick. Yeah, the cities was sick. It was great.
Divided Sky.
We always love a sky. It doesn't.
He said exactly that. It was Johnny Cash song. Yes, that it was a Johnny Cash song. Yeah, about the Trent Reznor Hurt song. The well got predictably weird and dark. Yes. Well, what is the well off of? Is the well on Sigma Oasis? What's the well on? Is it on anything? I don't even know. It might.
So Fishman and Desron Douglas and Trey played a 3-piece for 2 nights.
Yeah.
Summer 2023 at the Mission Ballroom in Denver, and they played a lot of songs. And the well was debuted there, and they played it at the end of the summer at MSG, and they mixed it up with was it the Howling something off of?
It's on Evolve.
It's on Evolve. Well, they sort of did a mix up. It went very dark, that MSG show 2023. It went on and on. Fun to dance to. Yeah, it was great. But like I said, I was surprised that the happy part really got me going and made me feel happy. They want us to feel happy. You guys all know that. Or to be happy.
That's making space in the Phish song, making space for a lot of energy. She's gone. She's gone?
She's gone.
That
must have been... Were you singing Hall & Oates? She's gone.
No, I wasn't singing Hall. F Zappa 20's in the fucking house, dude. Dude,
where's my red pen? Where's my red
fucking Zappa 20 in the house, dude? Stoked.
We're reverse Phish famous now.
Dude, awesome, man. Nice to have you here.
Good
dude.
On you.
Fucking man, F Zappa 20 in the fucking house, dude, with the red marker, man. I need to get my red marker out.
Andrea lost you guys. You guys didn't lose me.
Dude, I got my red marker out. I
Yours
need the
is
fucking
small. His is extra
large.
I
need a jumbo one, dude. I watched the decompresses. F Zappa 20 is a legendary Phish head who's doing post and pre show deconstructions. We love F Zappa 20. Yeah.
As long as he doesn't lose power at his house, everything's groovy.
Did he lose? I don't know about losing power. Did he lose power recently?
He did. I was looking for like the show review afterwards. I'm like, why is it black? What's going on? I looked the next day. And he had gotten on the next day. Yeah.
Dude, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, we're fans. And we're in awe of your Phish knowledge. We go back. I think we actually maybe go back further than you. I think I heard somewhere that you're kind of a. Are you a 2.0 ish something? Or I don't let me.
He's a younger man than us.
He's younger, but yeah. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, we love your fandom, and we've talked about you before. Yeah, we're big fans.
We're palpitating in our reverse fandom right now.
I'm shocked you're here, dude. Yeah. The famous YouTuber FZ in the house. He knows. Nah, it's just normal fan. I invited him up. I said, hey, you should come up and talk with me, Andrea. He said, I probably, yeah.
That's fine. He can chat, and
Totally.
we'll keep you safe. We understand like the need for anonymity.
But it is an open invite. It is an open invite. If you ever want to come and chill, by all means, it's an open invite.
If you like our rap, we might be too chitty chatty. Who knows?
Yeah, Andrea and I go back like 20 plus years, 30 years, maybe.
Maybe.
It's a long ways. Yeah.
Cresting the wave of 30.
It's built to get dark and weird. Yeah, the well. Again.
Yeah, the end makes it. That's the big pop in the end. We like that.
Denver saw the debut of the well at those 3 trio shows. Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flowery Tray Socks. More. I saw it again. Dun 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 dun.
That's what we're talking about, Kat. That's what we're talking about. That's what I'm talking
flowery
about.
nature songs, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I have to say, like, when he flubbed, we didn't finish that flub thing. When he flubbed the divided sky,
yeah.
It was like a proper, like, what do they call it? Like a clam, like a proper, like, Kong. It was like totally wrong. It was like, it wasn't like even it was awful.
This is when we go back to the Ben and Jerry's advice: strong and wrong.
Strong and wrong.
Live in the along. We're gonna put those two together. We're in a poem. We're in a poeming sort of mood today.
That's got to be like a high five. We got to make a handshake out of it.
Gayute.
Oh yeah, F Zappa 20. By the way, and Tuck, I don't know who's new to this, but our new salute. I recognize the rabid Phish fan in you. The rabid Phish fan in me recognizes the rabid Phish fan in you is
Gayute.
We coined that on this show.
Oh Lord.
But
so nerdy.
Wait! I lost my train of thought. The flub. Oh, it instantly sparks the worst of Phish fans. Instantly. It instantly starts. The snark just starts coming.
One flub,
he fucking sucks. He can't fucking do anything. Just practice, Trey. Fuck, it winds me up, and I'm just like, breathe. It's not like it's not the flub that winds me up. I don't mind the flub. I will admit, occasionally I kind of been like, oh, they didn't pull that one off. That was a rocky landing, but I never like begrudge him for it. But people get pretty nasty about it, and that kind of bums me out a little bit. But everybody's joking, and I always have to make the comment in the thread. Phish fans are the worst, I always have to write this.
In the grand scheme of life, a Phish flub is absolutely nothing, and you got to take the wider view in like the whole fandom. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter, because the cheering in the space is what it's about, really. And honestly, to like follow up this enormous cheer, Ninja Cat Matt, you were there, it felt really yummy. It's almost like more of that kind of off-base comedy when they flub. You're just like, all right, these are our guys. What are you gonna do? It's like, it's year 42 or whatever. Like, it's all right.
We are talking about this all the time. If you don't swing for a beautiful divided sky, if you don't try for it, you'll never get it. So I salute the effort always. So F Zappa 20 in the house, dude. Super stoked. I'd pay the devil to replace her. What's that one?
H&O.
Oh no, it's okay. Let's. I'm gonna run out of time. We've already run out of time to actually. Let's keep talking about the second set here. I'm gonna skip over some of these comments, guys. But thank you, and give us poetry, please. Yes, you got some amazing poetry. Gayute, says Tuck. Let's see.
It looks like
we're all rabid together. All right, I'm just blasting through them. Thank you, guys. Okay, okay, I'm here at the end. Okay, so let's keep going. Daniel saw the stone. I don't know anything about it. What can you say about it? School me a little bit, please. Do I need to look it up?
You should listen to the recording. I mean,
I heard
it's
it. I mean, it's a fun tune. It
yeah,
starts out
it's
with the "Hey, I thought it was gonna be Son of a Mule."
Daniel saw the zone. It's got a little bluegrass turnaround. You know how the bluegrass turnaround has that extra measure? And so when the mic gets into the like walking on walking on it's kind of got yeah, it's got this bluegrassy thing going on. I mean, it's just fun. It hasn't been played in forever.
Oh,
It's
it's a
fun.
Phish tune.
Is
It's a
it?
Phish. It's a Phish tune.
Well, how about that?
What? No. It's traditional. It's traditional. Sorry. It's
Okay.
traditional.
Oh wait, shoot! I just lost my thing.
Okay.
All right, let's keep
Instrumentally,
moving on,
hold
shall
on,
we?
hold on, hold on. Let me
Daniel's.
just read a little bit about this. Instrumentally, Fish's version of Daniel Saw the Stone is faithful to the customary upbeat bluegrass spiritual. Lyrically, however, they trim the spiritual a bit. For example, they repeat Daniel saw the stone in each chorus rather than the customary changes to Jesus saw the stone and I found the stone, without which the Rock of Ages born again meaning is unclear. Okay, Phish did version blah 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 blah. Okay, interesting. All right, I thought it was so debuted in '93. Last played on last night. Hold on, let me just see how many times it's been played. How often is it played? 789 show gap. Sorry. That's not correct. 283 show. Okay, so it gets bussed out. 2016, they played it 3 times.
You see it in 2012, Alpine Valley?
Yeah, Alpine was there.
And you'll see
Sandwiched
also
by My
Daniel Saw the
Soul and
Stone.
AC/DC Bag. Okay, I just like, yeah, and then, but actually between 2011, okay, never mind. Anyway,
All right,
it
okay,
played,
let's
sorry.
keep moving
Keep
on. We
going,
got
keep going. Okay,
two shows,
go.
Bri.
We're not
So-
going to get through 2 shows. We're going to get through 1, I think.
No, we got to talk about the Hey Stranger. All right, so we've got Daniel Saw the Stone, Taste Dirt, Weekapaw Groove. It's funny. I am the kind of show goer who can't remember what happened in the great jams until I listen afterwards, and I'm like, "Whoa, that's what happened." I get very lost in dancing and the unfolding music, but I think the taste was fucking awesome. And Dirt, I'm here for every single time. It's such a beautiful song. You know, I can you whistle, Brian?
I like to live beneath the dirt. Yeah, Trey's a great whistler. Good call out. That's a good call.
I can't always whistle on command. It's like you have to have the right moisture in your mouth.
Yeah.
Your lips have to do the right thing. There's a lot of Phish whistling moments, and I'm always so impressed that he can pull it out. It's just really funny. Some people whistle with their teeth, some people whistle with their fingers. It's always one of those things. I'm like, will he be able to whistle the whistling part? It's kind of like, will they be able to dismount the trampolines without a gap?
I can recall moments where he's like struggling to capture it, but he gets it almost every single time.
You think he practices whistling
before
he does any whistling mess?
And he's probably like so trained. It was probably one of his secret powers that you have no clue how many hours Trey has spent. He's probably like, he's got like a 30-minute routine of whistling every day. I read recently that like humming is really good for avoiding thyroid cancer or even curing thyroid cancer. Humming. And it's like they're saying like 40 minutes a day of humming. I'm like, 40 minutes a day? Good grief, that's a lot of humming. But hey, maybe. Okay, then Weekapaw. I don't even, you got to Slowkapog, good call. That was a tempered Slowkapog. You're very right. It was
funny because Mike started it, then Fishman joins in. The last time it was slow, which might have been the last 2 times, but in Mexico, Fishman started the Weekapaw, which was just weird, and then it was so slow and it was very awkward in the crowd. Everyone like, what's going on? This time around, I think people really enjoyed the slow groove. But it was funny. After the set, I ran into some friends, and one of the gals, she's one of the Team Prussia team gals, she was saying, The first set was okay. I wanted something else, and that's kind of how it goes with Phish. You don't always get what you want, and sometimes you gotta hold tight because the second set might just be right. You
And
know what I'm
sometimes
saying?
one man's trash is another man's treasure, because you find people be like, "Oh my god, that
I
set was
know,
incredible."
I
And you're like,
know.
"Really?" And they're like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
it's
what?"
so interesting.
Right?
That's why there's such a vibrant debate, I think, in Fish World from the fans, because we're all sort of attuned to our own like buffet of things we like, you know. You leave the mac and cheese, you take the fried chicken, somebody else is all about that mac and cheese, but they want a pot roast, you know, but everybody
Interesting.
wants a biscuit to go on the side. So
What's
it's
the biscuit? What's the biscuit? The
oh the
yams, the hoods?
no, the biscuit is the squirming coil in the middle
Oh,
of the second
God, that was so
set.
awesome. That was so
That's
awesome.
the fucking biscuit.
That was awesome.
Gluten free, you take your choice, but you got to get a little biscuit in there. So
Um,
yeah, set two. I'm gonna go through
okay,
it.
keep
We
going.
had No Men in No Man's Land.
I'm not a giant fan of No Man, but this one was off the hook. I don't hate it, but I'm never. It feels like a kind of like number line. It's like a standard 3.0. It was like in really heavy rotation for a while. I kind of got bored with it, but I was so happy. I was like, oh, I fucking love this song. This is great. It was, yeah, great. And it's one of those ones that it's like, come on, boys, let's just go out there and like, let's go play No Man's, no pressure. Let's just go out there and just like, let's just get in the groove,
It
It felt
always
like,
feels like beach party to me, like 1966 sort of Beach Boys. You're in a bikini in California. Let's go surfing now. It's got this kind of
funny.
like, let's
But
do the pony and the twist kind of dance moves,
okay,
dance groove to me. I really enjoy it quite a lot.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
13-minute second set opener. Then we go into a fucking massive Fuego. I didn't realize Fuego was that huge. 23-minute Fuego. I love Fuego. Fuego is Fuego. Fuego is awesome.
Well, and
And
let's talk about this sandwich because we got 23.5-minute Fuego into over 27-minute Golden Age.
that Golden Age was the show highlight for me. I
And
was
it's,
saying,
yeah. I'm Fuego, yay. We can talk about that too. But I went back and I listened to the Golden Age today and I was like, hot diggity damn. There is some great dissonance space fuck shit going on in there.
the Golden Age went everywhere. It was one of those things where it was like, is this still Golden Age? I don't even know where I am.
Yes, yeah,
I've
full
completely
send,
lost track of where we are.
That is one of my absolute favorite feelings at a show. I
Yeah.
would have to imagine many people who like to go see Phish live would agree that a high point is always going to be when you forget what song it is and you have to like really like wait, we've been journeying all this time. What happened? Oh, that's like one of the best feelings. Gotta say.
For sure, yeah.
Sorry, I
And
gotta
it
hook
was,
my battery back
I was
up.
saying that like there was some snarky comments like Golden Age because it's in heavy rotation, and
Yes, it
and
is.
somebody was saying like pissing on it that another Golden Age, wonderful, and then like 14 minutes into the jam, we were all like, holy shit, this is the craziest Golden Age ever. And then
well,
I
man,
wonder if
I have seen so many Golden Ages, and you step touch it out, bump, 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 bump. And sometimes it really hits, and sometimes it's just like, okay, it's Golden
it's
Age again.
true.
I feel
It's
like that happened in Mexico. I was like, oh, okay, another Golden Age. This one, fucking when I thought it was sung so beautifully, Trey really had a good handle on like the cadence of the lyrics. You could hear everything, all the words. I thought he sang it really well, and I really super enjoyed it.
They have it had those moments where like everybody was driving the train at one point, and there was like a four-way locomotive where it was just like everybody at full steam. It was awesome. It felt amazing.
Yes.
That was the standout for me. And so then you've got your 50 minutes into the set, more than you're over an hour into the set, and you've got 3 songs. And for those of you who are like 3 songs, I want to hear the hits. Like, that's not what we've come for. We've come for the 4-song set. How long is this gonna go?
Well, I was wondering, is
it's
it
like a golf
when they started Squirming Coil, I was like, nah, it still
Is this
feels
the
like there's
set
more
closer,
time.
right?
Well, last time we chatted, I talked about, and I think we discussed for a little bit, the dream of the Squirming Coil, not at the end of the show, or even with the Mike bass solo, because I was telling you about that. I don't
The
know if you
bass
listened
solo
to it.
closer, yeah.
From
I need to
Dix.
go listen to
You
that. Yeah, I
you
like that.
do. But it was so wonderful to have the band stay on stage. They're sort of in this 90s lineup right now,
Oh, I
right?
just love the fucking lineup so much. I love the new lineup
So
so much.
between
I'm
the
so into
lineup
it.
and the Squirming Coil nestled in the second set, there was this wonderful old school feel. It was like me hanging out with Tony from the Green Team. You are with your homies. Nothing can
Yeah.
go wrong. If something's sloppy, that's just who your homies are. You love them anyway. What are you going to like not get in a cab and go to a gay bar after the show? Of course you are. You're with your homies. Like, let's fucking go. That's another story. I'll tell all my bad girl stories later. But that happened too. Wow. Anyway,
So
Squirming
Squirming
Coil,
Coil, the
so
reason
good.
that Squirming Coil is significant for anybody who cares, there's a piano, there's a gorgeous, you know, Canon Phish. It's in the heavy road. It's in the, you know, starting lineup, and has been for, when I say starting lineup, I mean it's on the A team, and it's in the upper esh, and in the upper esh, and has been for a very, very, very long time. Nobody doesn't love Coil, and
It's on Lawn Boy, for God's sakes.
and it has this
Right?
luscious, gorgeous piano solo that I just discovered Keith Jarrett recently. Like, I knew the name Keith Jarrett for years and years, but I knew him maybe on some, you know, like some
Just
stuff, some jazz you know, what am I trying, ensemble stuff, but I hadn't listened to any of these like Keith Jarrett records that are like 8 hours of him playing piano. And I just discovered one of these pieces, and it led me to, like, I listened to like Keith Jarrett for like 120 hours, and I listened to like, and I could listen to it for another 1,000 hours. It's so fun and so beautiful, and so it's like imagination made into music. You know, it's so pretty.
Keith
And
Jarrett is
oh
wonderful.
my god, it's so good. And I suddenly, like, Coil, the piano solo at the end of Coil that usually closes the set, I heard it in a new way. I don't think it was particularly different than it ever is, but I heard it as Paige, like having like exploring, you know, like
I do.
like
I was right over him watching his shiny head in the lights.
he
And
looks good. Yeah, did you notice he had his like shirt? He had his shirt unbuttoned, an extra button unbuttoned.
Oh, I mean, look at what you noticed. You should have come to the gay club too. Uh, and then we got.
He did. He went for like 3 shows in a row. I think his new thing is like his one less button buttoned. I think.
Wow. Well, I noticed his nice
He's
shirt the
cute.
second night.
Paige is a solid bet. He's, I think, right? Well, maybe, I don't know. Anyway,
I think Paige is a solid bet.
he's a solid.
You know, you're not going to go hungry with that guy. I mean,
Get a good
turkey
sandwich.
and cheese on rye with a little lettuce and mayo. I'm here for that.
Oh God.
No avo. Hold the
Okay.
avo.
What are we talking about? Oh, so the Coil, yeah, mid-set Coil, very nice placement.
And then we got to kind of stock sand into character 0.
I'm not a sand guy. I don't like sand itself. The thing. Oh, Andrea's gone again. Am I gone? Oh, shit.
No. Someone was
okay.
calling.
I don't like sand
per
se, and I don't like
Weird.
the song "Sand" because it makes me think of sand. But anyway, 9-minute sand, and then anything.
It wasn't the sand to write home about. That happened last year at Dick's.
A sand
that was
opener.
The sand to write home about.
Okay, I don't need a late first set sand. It's just like it's
unless it was gonna be 18 minutes rather than the character 0. Yeah, that it was fine. It was great.
That's
song,
true.
It
could had it been enormous and had it closed the set, that would have been really fun.
Character 0, stompy, shreddy Trey. When you're in the crowd, step touching and pumping that arm. I love character 0.
Me too.
I will take it anytime.
Billy Breeze, baby.
But that would be another one to hear really fun, not in the closing slot.
Yeah, I hear what
Like,
you're
let's
saying.
open up with a character zero. How fucking cool would that be?
Does
Or
that
like,
happen ever, I wonder?
I
Has
don't
that
know, or after some big jam, fucking really blow it out. I don't know. And then we had for the encore, Life
let's
Beyond the
just keep
Dream
going.
into First Tube.
Okay, I gotta say, Life Beyond the Dream is one. It's like a deflated thing. It's where the whole audience goes like, "Oh, Life Beyond the Dream," and I'm the only one that's like, "Yes, Life Beyond the Dream." I love this song so much. I love Life Beyond the Dream.
I
Right?
think
You
Life
don't love?
Beyond the Dream is beautiful, but I felt deflated. It
Oh
is a slightly like air sucked out of the room, flaccid, sort
no,
of.
it's because it's for the reason I think that nobody remembers where it goes. It goes to the most shredding trills. It doesn't get it's as euphoric as you can get with a Phish song. And it's got like isn't it? It goes to the forest, and it's like and
When
Evolver
we were
and what Signal Oasis. It's like on
talking.
2 albums, and it's that good.
Da-da-da.
It's so
I
nice they
mean,
played it twice. They recorded it twice.
listen,
Love it.
I
I
will
fucking
take
love to all
whatever
the
we get.
naysayers of Life Beyond the
God,
Dream.
you can't even get a word in with this guy. I'm going to tell you what I do like about it.
Okay.
My brain hears imaginary guitar solos, to quote Frank Zappa, and what's his name? He was a nice boy. He used to mow the lawn. What is that? Joe.
Joe's Garage?
At the end of Joe's Garage,
Okay.
imaginary guitar solos.
I don't remember this
So
part.
when I'm listening to a song that is maybe deflating me, my imagination sort of takes over. So I like the song in the sense that I can sing in my mind or out of my mouth a sort of sweet harmony, and that keeps me invested. I can also sing imaginary guitar solos in my mind to whatever's happening. And I find that really fun to do. I had a big night the second night with my imaginary guitar solos. But I'll take anything, but I would rather Life Beyond the Dream not in the encore. At least you know
That's
that
the
you're
best
gonna
spot
get
for it.
something.
There's no
I
other
don't
spot
know.
for it. It's like either the closer or I was disappointed by the first two. I was like, I just wanted Life Beyond the Dream to end the show. I fucking love
Oh
this song.
God, talk about deflated. You would not have fun afterwards. You would
You
really
are the
need a drink.
snarkiest. You're fucking
No,
Phish fans are
I
the
know I
worst.
am
They are
not.
the
I'm
worst.
not. I just said I was singing harmonies and I was singing imaginary guitar
They're
solo.
the
I had a
worst,
great time.
folks. They are the worst.
All right, let's read a couple reviews of the show, shall we?
Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up again. Well, then the first two, which is famously, Trey's got to do his fucking Jedi
Ding,
lightsaber,
shananang, shananang,
which is kind of like
shananang.
I always think it's like cheesy as fuck, but kind of cool too. Kind of cool,
It's a great song. Oh, and he did the big, you're looking for like Trey's little midriff when he goes,
Oh, dude, I'm not looking for his midriff. Is that
I
what you're
sure,
doing?
yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, that like little bit of
I'm too focused on pages. But
yeah, you're looking at Paige's chest. I'm looking at Trey's little like dad. It's not a donut because he's fit, but I'm like, ooh, that tiny little bit of skin.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, I'm here for that.
Funny.
But he was feeling his like Jedi guitar power.
But it is
I
pretty.
love the second set of the show. I love the whole show. I always love every show.
I
Every
thought
show is the best
the
show
Golden
ever.
Age, Squirming Core, that whole first 4 songs until the sand was just like out of this world. It was
all right.
A++.
I'm gonna read some reviews from
Okay.
Live Phish. Objectively Correct Phish Opinions says, my dad's first show. What a lucky
Objective.
guy.
That's the name of the username. Objectively, that's a good name. That's better than any comment. Objectively,
this is gonna be part of the fun of the reading. Objectively Correct Phish Opinions says, my dad's first show. What a lucky guy. This whole thing is amazing, front to back. Probably the best one I've ever seen. The band had the entire audience in the palm of their hand. And I won't argue with that. Opening night, kind of new city, everyone's in from out of town. there was such a wonderful energy in the building. It felt immediate. It felt unfolding. It was sort of raw and wild. Austin is a raucous city. People fucking party. 6th Street is crazy with bars and music. I mean, I felt like there was a good cowboy spirit. So I'm sort of in that. Do you want to go comment on
Sure.
this?
Insane Wayne says,
Yeah.
if you go to 820 of Golden Age, you will find some of the stankiest tones you've heard. Clap, clap, clap. Oh, that's got the that's the one,
Deep in
right?
the heart of Texas. Deep in the heart.
But Golden Age is the one, right? We're talking about Golden Age.
No,
is the
I know
one.
he's making
Okay,
an
anyway, yeah, I hear
allusion
you, I hear you.
to.
Okay. And then Jesse G says, the boys are still do good live. Yes. They are still do good boy. The Phish from Vermont are still
Vermont.
do good live.
Eli says, holy cannoli, entire set 2 is just fire. No Man Fuego, Golden Age, all just carried it away. I always love a squirming coil. Me too, Eli. And somehow it was the most boring part of the set. 10 out of 10. That's funny. I would say Life Beyond the Dream was maybe more boring than the squirming coil.
Blasphemy.
I'm always saying it to annoy you, Brian. Okay. All right. Austin says, sounds good. First set was great. Second set was blast off. Soupy says Phish is on fire.
I don't see any more reviews.
Oh, you gotta open them up. Show all.
Well, I have show less here.
Oh, okay.
I've got
anyway,
maybe yours. Oh, that's interesting. What you're seeing is something different.
Yeah. I'll read just a quick smattering. Death Metal Hippie says, amazing show. Golden Age is a must listen, and The Well is deaf, an evil hidden gem.
Let me log in here and see if that helps.
Ooh, some of you nerds will like this. Mott says, these keep getting deleted. Trey's got a chorus in there again. That's the type of pedal. Sounds like it's being used with his univibe or even a new phase. Very, very EVH. We see a Trey. So I have been hearing the phaser a lot. I play my rig with a phaser and a flange, and I've been trying to figure out, Trey will do these arpeggiations, and you could hear the sort of like wobbly, not quite tremolo, but this, I think it's a phaser. But yeah, I like that effect quite a lot.
Those the phaser, what was the other, flanger combo is always a sort of go-to, right? That's what
that's what I play with, that with a little reverb action. And Edwin gave me this really cool pedal that with a spaceship on it. I'm not exactly sure what it does, but I like how it sounds when I press it. Univibe and a chorus pedal. Maybe Chuck will know what's going on there. Here's a good one. Still having fun despite this mix, says, why is Phish drums so loud? Paige is buried. Turn the snare down. Jeez. Completely unlistenable due to the mix. Now, this guy's name is
interesting.
Still having fun despite this mix. So maybe he's trolling. I don't know.
No. I mean, I know that, like, that apparatus that they get going to us on the live stream. I mean, unless I don't know if he's talking about being at the live show or being like on Couch Tour, but like,
I think he was probably couchy.
Then it's like you saw that there was a video that went around a while back where they were like, Trey went and like visited the studio van, where the live feed van, right?
Yeah. When he was doing what are you doing? When he was doing those
fun in our band,
interviews.
And it's an enormous operation, a huge, crazy, like semi-truck full worth of server racks and
dude, there's like 6 semis. Well, here's a good comment. Golden says, melted during that Golden Age jam. Very sick stuff from No Man's through Coil. First set was nice, above average. Thanks to the band and crew. Awesome show. Let's just shout out the crew. They started breaking that Austin down immediately. And can you not hear me?
I'm okay. I just my I gotta fix some things. I'm getting.
You need a crew. You need a crew to help you with your sound shit.
Okay. First night, amazing show, great show. I mean, amazing. I don't know. I give it like a 7. I give it a 7, and that's a good number. That's only because there's just. But maybe I give it a 7.8. I won't go all the way to 8.
That's a C plus. I would disagree.
No. Okay, I see your point.
In teacher world, you give 5 for nothing is kind of dumb, but like let's do a 1 to 5 scale.
Okay, I'll give it a 4.2.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Okay.
4.2 seems reasonable, and that's like an 8.4. Yeah, it's like right in that sort of solid B, verging on B plus world.
Yeah, good show. Okay, well, thanks. I'm a little bit. I think
You're frazzly.
I'm frazzling, and I got to get to work, and I'm late, and I can't concentrate, and I wanted to go into another show, but I think it's going to make me.
We don't
late.
We don't be late. Should we just finish our comment reading and then boogie?
Yeah, but there actually, like, how are we going to get? We're never going to get. We have to. You want to try again tomorrow? No.
Try again tomorrow. Yeah, I could do tomorrow morning. You could do the night.
I mean, we can read some comments, but if we keep this shorter, and I can because I want to read the essays, and we went off for 30 minutes talking about everything and anything under the sun. So, but if we
I suck because I don't love life.
Oh, lighten up! This is coming from you. Really? You're gonna give me shit for loving on Life Beyond the Dream?
One good turn deserves another, my little sand hater. Listen to Dick Sand and tell me what you think.
I've already walked back my hate of sand. I don't hate sand, okay? I
don't hate Life Beyond the Dream.
Yes, you do. You said you did. I did
not say that. I'll re-listen. I do not hate anything Phish.
I don't know if this Life Beyond the Dream was particularly special, but I'm just always waiting for
we all need a reminder to not give up hope and to keep dreaming. I will never argue with the sentiment. I like deep in my hippie heart and I teach kids. I will never give up, and I will always keep hope in my heart.
So here, folks, we went to Phish.com. We read some reviews. There's Phish.net, which is the user generated, the fan generated website that has an essay, a show recap. I want to read it. It's like 5 paragraphs long. It's in our wheelhouse to read that. Let's start tomorrow. Let's see if we can get on tomorrow. If we can't, we can, but let's start reading that.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, because we've already had all of our
chit chat.
And no chit chat, and then let's go. Let's read some comments from that show, and then let's dive right into night 2, and let's wrap this Texas show up. Austin shows up, because I also want to do the same thing for Folsom Field, which you're going to have. I'm not going to be able to see you, and the next time we talk, we're not going to.
We have to get back to Japan 2000. We got a lot of.
We did. We're finished with Japan. We wrapped that up.
No, we did not finish Japan.
Did we not? Oh,
no,
shit.
We only did
Well, that's something to look forward to. That's nice.
We've got a lot of pokers in the fire.
We do. Okay, so I want to say thanks to. Oh my God, I'm still a little bit blown away. Not to blow a bunch of steam up here, but F Zappa 20 in the house. That was so crazy.
Thank you, F Zappa, for
stopping we appreciate you being here. Ninja Cat, dude, so many comments, and sorry that I didn't get to them all.
Ninja Cat, I'll look for a portly, long-haired hippie. Maybe it will be you at Folsom. I can't wait to meet you.
Our friend Stefan from South Africa.
Is that the Buck Stops Here?
That's Buck Stops Here. Yes.
Hi.
Nice to see you, Stefan. We had a nice little hangout the other day online.
That's nice.
I just love watching the two.
Our biggest fan, 4D. Oh, Stefan, that's so sweet. Fucking couple of wacky mouthy.
Hola, 4D.
Nerds.
Brian the Rocker.
Brian.
There was a clam. That was a proper clam.
What's clam?
Clam is like a bing, a blue note. It's the wrong one. I don't even know if it's a blue note. I think blue note's something else. It is a brown note.
The blue note is what you want when you play with Edwin in your band. Oh, yes. More poetry. I'll look for something lovely for the next time, Stefan.
Okay.
That's my jams. That's my jams.
We all are watching. Okay, I'm not sure what I was referring. Okay, Ninja Cat. We got all the. We got all the picky deadheads, which many of us still are. Yes, we got
Oh,
the
all
picky
that
deadheads.
nitpicky. Yeah. Whatever. That's just part of our culture. We are discerning and diverse with our ears, and that's okay. There's a lot to choose from in Phish world.
Me, I'm dead. Every time I read this from She's Gone, I'm always thinking of
She's
She's
gone.
gone, she's gone, and nothing's good. That's He's Gone, right? Okay.
Oh, that's he. No, she's
Yeah,
gone.
Daniel saw this, but it'd be fun to sing it as She's Gone, right? Okay. I like it when they do that. I like when you take I am an old woman
Named
born of a father.
Emma.
I like it when the guys sing the girl song. I like it when they do that.
We do that in the May days a little bit.
Right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Like Paul and Silas. Yes, which they played recently.
Tomorrow night, the night we'll try to do this again tomorrow. Okay, Andrea, always cool to see you folks.
Aww.
Waxing lyrical. Love bluegrass too. Yeah, we love it. We love it all. It was rough in Texas, but there are great recordings of Daniel Saw the
Okay,
Sky
so
out
I
there.
just got
Okay.
to comment back to that because I was side stage and I was not getting straight on sound. And I was like, I can't tell if this is
Oh,
janky
interesting.
because of that extra measure in the bluegrass turnaround, or is it weird because it's like they're still dialing in the sound in a new venue, or it's just kind of loosey goosey. But that's kind of the nature of a traditional spiritual, is sort of loosey goosey. So I don't
I
know.
have no idea. I was kind of just like, I was sort of like finding out, like, what is this song? I was like searching for the lyrics and like, what is this song?
Walking on, walk, walk, walk,
Dead 72 is an example of how epic the jams become as long as they are all recorded. Yeah. I mean, 72 was, Europe 72. Okay, whistling. Okay, it's all subjective. Yes, we all, my love for, my hate for sand and Andrea's hate for it's all
I don't
subjective.
hate it.
We should, we should ask about this is objectively correct Phish fan. That's who we should ask. They will have the answer.
Maybe they'll hear this podcast and someone will let them know we were talking about that.
This is an impossibly hard question. Brian, please point me to the best Phish live years at some live year. The best Phish live years at some stage.
The best of Phish live years at some stage.
Best of live Phish live years. I mean, go listen to a live one. That's a live one. That's the show to listen to. Go listen to that's canon discography.
Oh, look at Stefan pumping us up. Please do like and subscribe. That's what they say on podcasts.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, if you've enjoyed hanging out, we'd really appreciate the like and sub and share and comment.
It's all about Tokyo Record style. I'm just sort of nebulous guesty. Brian has so much content. But I did make an Ode to Trey record video when I was in Austin. It's on my Instagram.
And I tried to encourage her to put it on YouTube.
Well, I tried to do it, but it didn't download the Beach Boys music that accompanied with it. And I didn't have enough time to figure out how to do that.
So
Ninja Cat and F Zappa. We're not fanning your argument flames here. That's not. Okay. Oh.
Okay,
hello, Fela. Yes.
It's the late Fela.
There are some great old school Fela recordings out there and some videos. There was also, I don't know if you know this, Stefan, because you live in South Africa, but there's a wonderful Broadway show on Fela. It was so cool. Brian, I don't know if you ever knew Chris Berry. He was a percussionist, sort of adjacent to Scott Messersmith, Motet Boys, but his at one point partner and wonderful dance teacher of mine from Zimbabwe was in the show. I've spent many Thanksgivings with her, Rejeko Dumbia, but dancing was so good. The music was so good. The house band was Antibalas, which is an American Afrobeat band, I think out of New York, but that was pretty cool.
I'm sorry, I'm distracting you by throwing these comments up. No, I was listening. I just was gonna blast through some comments.
Oh, did Stefan hear my Zappa imaginary guitar solos reference? I hope.
Do you like Pere-Vu? Yeah, I do. But it was one of these records that was sort of forced onto me when I was not sophisticated. Well, I'm still
I don't know who that is.
I want to say Chicago band. I'm a little bit. I kind of forget.
Harry.
Minneapolis, Chicago band, kind of like early. Yeah, my friend Freddie, our friend Freddie is a giant. Freddie
I saw
Nikolai.
him at the No Kings podcast or
Okay, he
podcast
turned me on to
protest.
so much music, and Perubu was one of the bands that he turned me on to. He's like, "You gotta listen to this." I'm like, yeah, and maybe, and then, but
Who is
yeah,
Leola, Bri? Another record.
Breakfast King of Loyola. Our friend Paul. Paul is our friend. Breakfast King of Loyola. I assume he's in. Where's Loyola? He's not. Is that New Orleans? Where's Loyola? I want to say New Orleans. Where's Loyola?
I thought maybe Maryland. Like
It
College
could be
Park.
Maryland. Yeah, but I wonder where is Loyola? My friend went to school.
All right,
there.
let's get through our comments.
Sorry. All right.
While I was talking, I didn't get to see anything, so let's keep on.
Trying to see if the moon. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I got to get out of here. Okay, yeah, there was a buzz in the building. It's a cool new venue, right? It was small. It didn't look that big, right? It looked kind of small. It felt like. Did you think it was enormous, Anne? It looked small to me.
It felt very communal. It like sometimes in the venue you feel really separate, and then sometimes there are these venues or these moments where sort of everybody all becomes one seething mass, and it felt like that happened sooner than later in this venue. So I would say it was just the right size. Highly effective. Seeing Phish sort of in that round space is always really nice. Though they didn't have the seats open behind the stage, they did have that in Portland, same kind of like a basketball arena thing. I love when people are behind the stage. So I would just suggest the Moody Center. Think about that for next time. But the
really?
lights were crazy. They were coming down so close to the stage, and everything was really kind of close in with the band. So I don't know. It was very close. It's hard for me to tell. I was just so in my own experience, but it was, yeah, it felt intimate, even though I think it was something like 19,000 people.
Oh, wow. Okay. It looked like, okay. I would have thought it was less than half that.
I'm not sure what the
I
Moody
saw the
Center
pictures, and it was
capacity
the
is.
back. It was square, kind of, wasn't it? It felt like it was.
No, it was a
square-
round room
Okay,
with the
okay.
back blocked off,
Okay.
and like pipe and drape.
There's a couple great photos out there that, I mean, I'm sure you've seen them, but there's a bunch of great photos out there. Yeah. Tug dropping the Univibe info on us here from Wiki.
Oh,
It's
great.
Yeah. Okay. We'll
Vibra Chorus, a foot pedal operated phaser. I thought, okay, or phase.
It's a wah wah, the thing that's sending, it's oscillating sounds. Yeah. Who knows?
It's oscillating.
Oscillating. Nice. What did we walk away with today? There was a couple of them. Alone, Ben and Jerry's
Simulations for organ orchestra.
What was
all right, next.
Okay, sorry. I need to send you a photo of the Rodriguez mural here in Detroit.
Oh, he's in Detroit.
Here. Cool.
All right.
Love Rodriguez. Love that story so much. I don't have the Rodriguez. I've listened to those Rodriguez records. You know the Rodriguez story, right, Andrea? Of course. No?
I don't know what you're saying.
13 for Sugar Man?
I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, can you hear me? You can hear me though, right?
No, yeah, I just like don't.
Rodriguez was this guy. He just went by one name, Rodriguez, and he was this kind of Bob Dylan-esque kind of character who like just didn't get a moment. Like just everybody just kind of glossed over him, but he was like this incredible, amazing songwriter who was in New York at the same time as Dylan, and he like made the best records and worked with the greatest people, and he wrote the greatest album, and then he just like failed. He like tried to put like 2.5 albums and just failed. And then little did he know, his records like were making a huge impact in South Africa on social justice movement. And his albums, yeah, he's from Detroit, I think. And like the guy ended up like becoming like a construction worker and like down like and like tried to like really amazing story. And this guy and this DJ, there's a movie about it, and they go find him. They're like, he's dead, right? It's this Rodriguez, and he's not. And they find him, And he's like, he's alive. And I won't tell you the rest of the story because you got to go see the movie. It's fucking amazing. It's really fun.
Is
really,
this like
I can't recommend it
current?
enough, actually. It's a great, it's like 10 years old. It's a bit old.
Yeah, Ninja Cat Matt, we are talking about part 2 for Austin for sure. Maybe tomorrow morning we will let you know.
Okay, I gotta get out of here. Okay, Angel over Montgomery. Yeah, I was singing that a second ago. Okay, I can't get there. I think they just keep coming. Os Mutantes, smaller arena.
Oh wait, hold on. Os
Okay.
Mutantes, Que Rico. Well, I don't know how to say that in Portuguese. You know them, Brian? They're basically like the
Yeah, I have all their albums. I
Brazilian
fucking love
Beatles.
them. Yeah, I probably turn you onto them. I
Maybe.
fucking yeah, they're great.
Maybe. I don't know.
I discovered them at Bart's CD seller.
Where we saw David Grisman play live in the back of the Stacks
Oh
in the
my
90s.
God.
Do you remember that?
God,
Do you remember that?
Grisman.
We
Yeah,
would
yeah,
stand
yeah.
in the rows of records.
It's so cool.
I would think I was right next to David Grisman while he played. I saw some other folks there too.
Like
Remember that, Tuck? I
what are
bet
those?
Tuck was there.
What are those little tiny desk concerts?
Oh,
That
those
was
are fun. Yes.
All right, that's it. I'm done. Don't start with Grisman, says Buck Stops here. Okay, that's it, folks. I got a jet, and it's fun. Let's send me a chat. We'll try to do it tomorrow. A more condensed version.
Friends.
Yeah, to be continued. Part
Thanks
2
for stopping in.
Yeah, appreciate all you guys being here, and
such a pleasure, Brian.
And I'll see you on the next stream, man. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody. See you. Bye, Ann. I'm bouncing. I'm bouncing.